I'm 75 now, and I can't remember anybody except them.
In a shocking development that has sent tremors through Buckingham Palace, Laura Lopes, daughter of Queen Camilla, has been sentenced in a case shrouded in extraordinary secrecy. The ruling, delivered behind closed doors and absent from public court records, has resulted in her immediate removal from British soil. Palace officials have gone to unprecedented lengths to suppress details of the case, but our sources have uncovered disturbing information about what really happened. What could the Queen's daughter have done to receive such a severe sentence? And why is the royal family desperate to keep it hidden? Stay tuned, because this revelation changes everything we thought we knew about the House of Windsor. The secret hearing. On a grey Monday morning, Laura Lopes arrived at an unmarked government building in central London. Unlike the high-profile court appearances of other public figures, there were no press photographers, no waiting crowds, just an ordinary-looking entrance guarded by unusually alert security personnel. Dressed conservatively and escorted by individuals who carried no official identification, Laura was ushered through a private entrance and disappeared from public view. Inside waited what one source described as a court that doesn't officially exist. No public gallery, no court reporters, no ordinary legal procedures. The small, austere room contained only essential personnel: a judge with specialized security clearance, prosecutors with intelligence backgrounds rather than typical Crown Prosecution Service credentials, and a defense team bound by confidentiality agreements so restrictive that breaking them would constitute treason. This wasn't justice as the public understands it, revealed a source with connections to royal security protocols. This was crisis management disguised as legal proceedings. The charges against Laura, while never formally made public, centered around unauthorized access to classified royal archives, specifically, documents the monarchy had spent decades keeping from public view. According to our sources, Laura had spent years quietly collecting information that posed an existential threat to the modern monarchy's carefully crafted image. She began with simple curiosity about family history, explained someone formerly connected to Laura's household. But what she discovered led her down a path that eventually crossed lines the institution couldn't tolerate. The most sensitive materials allegedly included documents related to royal financial arrangements with foreign governments, private correspondence revealing senior royals' unfiltered opinions on political matters, and most explosively, records contradicting official narratives about key historical events involving the monarchy. During the 6-hour proceeding, Laura reportedly remained composed, speaking only when directly addressed by the judge. Unlike criminal defendants who might plead for leniency or claim mitigating circumstances, she offered no defense beyond acknowledging her actions. Those present described her demeanor not as defeated but resolute, the bearing of someone who had made peace with the consequences of a deliberate choice. The sentence, when delivered, was unprecedented for a person of her status. While not termed imprisonment in any conventional sense, the ruling mandated her immediate relocation to an undisclosed secure facility outside British territory, where she would remain indefinitely without access to communication devices, internet, or unapproved visitors. The official terminology, protective isolation for reasons of national security, barely disguised the reality: permanent exile designed to ensure her silence. As Laura was escorted from the room through a secure exit, she reportedly turned to a senior royal official present and spoke 7 words that have haunted palace corridors since. The truth finds its way. Always. Within hours, she had been removed from British soil via military transport, her destination known only to a handful of officials with the highest security clearances. The cover-up operation. The palace's public statement, issued the following day, made no mention of any legal proceedings. It simply announced that Laura Lopes would be residing abroad indefinitely for personal reasons and requested privacy. The brevity and vagueness only fueled speculation among those who monitor royal activities closely. Behind the scenes, an elaborate operation was already underway. Teams with specialized training in evidence recovery descended on properties connected to Laura: her family home, office spaces, storage facilities, even locations registered under names not publicly associated with her. Computers were seized, documents confiscated, and storage devices removed. But the operation went far beyond simple evidence gathering. They weren't just collecting materials, revealed a source familiar with the security response. They were eliminating all trace of her. Research, and by extension, her presence in royal life. Most telling was the treatment of her private study in her Wiltshire home. According to household staff who witnessed the operation, the room was systematically dismantled. Floorboards were removed, wall panels were opened, ceiling fixtures were examined for hidden compartments. The thoroughness suggested extreme concern about what might be concealed there. Yet despite this exhaustive search, key documents apparently remained unaccounted for. The most sensitive materials, what one source called the monarchy's extinction level event, were nowhere to be found, triggering alarm among those managing the containment effort. There was serious concern she had created a dead man's switch, explained a former intelligence officer with knowledge of the case. Insurance files distributed to trusted allies, programmed to become public under certain conditions. This fear drove the next phase, identifying and neutralizing potential accomplices. Friends who had been close to Laura suddenly received unexpected job opportunities abroad. Associates found their visa applications mysteriously expedited. The pattern revealed a coordinated effort to distance anyone who might have served as her confidant. Particularly concerning to royal officials was Laura's long-standing friendship with an investigative journalist known for exposing government scandals. This individual abruptly announced an extended sabbatical in New Zealand shortly after Laura's removal, raising questions about whether they had been pressured into silence or were positioning themselves beyond immediate reach of British authorities. Digital traces of Laura began disappearing as well. Archives of events where she had appeared alongside royal family members were edited. Her minimal social media presence vanished overnight. Even photographs in which she appeared peripherally at royal functions were removed from official platforms and replaced with carefully cropped versions, excluding her. The goal was to gradually minimize public awareness of her existence, noted a social media expert who tracked the changes. Not an erasure so obvious it would raise questions, but a subtle dimming of her presence in royal history. The family fractures. Behind palace walls, Laura's sentence reportedly created the most severe family crisis since Harry and Meghan's departure. Queen Camilla, torn between maternal instinct and institutional duty, was described by insiders as shattered but silenced. According to sources close to the royal household, she was informed of the action against her daughter only hours before it occurred, presented not as a request for permission, but as an operational necessity already set in motion. Camilla was given the appearance of consultation, said one palace source. In reality, she was simply being prepared to accept a decision made at levels even she couldn't challenge. King Charles, meanwhile, allegedly took a firmer position supporting the action. Sources suggest he viewed Laura's activities not merely as a security concern, but as a personal betrayal, particularly regarding documents relating to Diana and the monarchy's response following her death. This difference in perspective has reportedly created a painful distance between the royal couple. The king understands the institutional necessity, explained a longtime royal advisor. But watching his wife grieve the effective loss of her daughter while being unable to offer genuine comfort has created a strain in their relationship that wasn't there before. The most volatile reaction has reportedly come from Laura's brother, Tom Parker Bowles. Unlike his more private sister, Tom has maintained a public profile as a food writer and critic while remaining connected to royal circles. According to multiple sources, he vocally opposed the action against Laura, even threatening to speak publicly about her treatment, a prospect that sent shockwaves through palace officials already managing a precarious situation. Tom had to be managed differently, revealed one source. His public profile made coercion impossible, so influence was applied through professional channels instead. Suddenly, new opportunities appeared. Publishing deals materialized. The message was clear. Cooperation would be rewarded. Resistance would carry costs. Prince William, now fully embedded in the institutional machinery of monarchy, has reportedly supported the action against his stepsister, viewing it as regrettable but necessary for the monarchy's stability. According to palace insiders, he was among those briefed on specific contents of the seized documents and recognized their potential to fundamentally damage the institution he will someday lead. Most intriguingly, Prince Harry, long removed from royal operations in his California life, has allegedly made discreet inquiries about Laura's situation through intermediaries. Sources suggest he recognized parallels between her treatment and his own experiences challenging royal protocols. with these inquiries being met with diplomatic deflection from official channels. For Queen Camilla, the situation has created an impossible position. Sources describe a woman caught between institutional obligation and maternal anguish, permitted no direct communication with her daughter since the sentencing. All information comes through official briefings provided by the same security apparatus that engineered Laura's removal. In public, she maintains composure, noted one household staff member. In private, the weight is visible. She's begun questioning the path that led her into royal life, wondering if the personal cost has become too great.
She was the villain. She was the third person in the marriage. She needed to rehabilitate her image.
The courtroom is silent. Everyone is watching, waiting. Then, something shocking happens. Queen Camilla's face turns pale. Her hands shake. Before anyone can react, she falls to the floor. Gasps fill the room. People jump up from their seats. Judges, lawyers, security, everyone is in shock. Just moments ago, she had stood there, waiting to hear her punishment. But as soon as the judge spoke, everything changed. The words hit her like a heavy weight. Her eyes widened, her body swayed. And then, she collapsed. Guards rush to her side. Some people whisper, others just stare. What was said in that courtroom? What kind of sentence was so shocking that it made the Queen fall? The truth behind this moment is something no one saw coming. How did Queen Camilla end up in court? The story of how Queen Camilla ended up in court is truly shocking. It left the whole nation stunned. For years there had been whispers, small rumors in the air about royal money being spent where it shouldn't. But no one ever expected it to blow up like this. It all started with leaked documents. These papers didn't just come out of nowhere. They were leaked by someone who used to work inside the palace. The documents showed that millions of pounds from the royal funds were being used for personal luxuries. Not just normal shopping or gifts, but private jets, secret holidays, and even hush money to cover up past royal scandals. One of the biggest shocks was that the money trail led straight to Queen Camilla. People had always joked about her love for the finer things. But now there was proof. Some claimed she knew about it, others said she didn't. But one thing was clear. This scandal was too big to hide. The public was furious. The cost of living was already hitting everyone hard. Families were struggling to buy groceries, pay bills, and survive. And here was the Queen Consort, using public funds like her own piggy bank. The anger grew every day. Protesters stood outside Buckingham Palace with signs that read, "Not with our money." The media had a field day. Every news channel, every newspaper, every social media platform was full of updates about Camilla's scandal. Every hour brought a new leak or a shocking twist. People couldn't stop watching. The British people felt betrayed, and the pressure on the royal family was at an all-time high. What made things worse was the fact that royals rarely face legal action. The last time the public saw a royal facing legal trouble was when Prince Andrew got caught up in a serious scandal. But even then, the family managed to protect him. This time, however, it was different. The evidence was too strong, and the people were too angry. There was no way out. The case had to go to court. The courtroom drama. The day of the trial felt like a movie. People gathered outside the court from early morning, holding signs and chanting. Reporters from all over the world were there, trying to get a glimpse of the Queen as she walked in. Everyone wanted to see her face. Would she look scared? Would she even show up? As the clock hit 9 a.m., the doors of the courtroom opened. Cameras flashed like crazy, and there she was, Queen Camilla. She wore a black dress and dark sunglasses. Her face was pale, and her lips tight. She didn't smile. She didn't wave. She just walked straight in, ignoring the crowd. But one thing was clear. King Charles was not with her. People noticed. It spoke louder than words. The air inside the courtroom was heavy. You could feel the tension. The prosecution was ready. They laid out every piece of evidence they had. Photos, receipts, bank records, all showing how money meant for charity and public projects had been used for Camilla's personal pleasures. Private island holidays, designer clothes, secret deals, everything was out in the open now. And then came the biggest twist: statements from palace staff. People who had worked for the Queen stood in front of everyone and spoke. They talked about how they were asked to cover things up. They talked about the threats they received when they refused. One former staff member, with tears in her eyes, said, "We were told to stay silent or lose our jobs. We were scared." Camilla's defense team tried their best. They painted her as a woman who was just a victim of palace politics. They argued that she didn't know where the money was coming from. They said she simply trusted the wrong people. Her lawyer even said, Her Majesty only did what she thought was best for the crown. She never meant to harm anyone. But the damage was done. The court had heard too much. The people had seen too much. Deep down, even Camilla knew. This was not going to end well. The verdict and sentencing. After days of arguments, witness statements, and countless evidence being shown, the moment everyone had been waiting for finally arrived. The courtroom went silent as the judge prepared to deliver the verdict. Cameras zoomed in. Reporters held their breath. Even outside the court, people stood frozen, waiting. The judge began by recapping the case. He spoke about the years of misuse of funds, the lies, and the cover-ups. His voice was cold, firm, and full of disappointment. Then came the words that shook the entire nation. Her Majesty Queen Camilla is found guilty of the charges presented. Gasps echoed across the courtroom. Some cried, others clapped. And then, the sentence was announced. Queen Camilla was fined millions of pounds. But that wasn't all. She was sentenced to 2 years of house arrest inside a royal estate. She was also stripped of several royal titles. From that day forward, she would no longer be known as Her Majesty in any official capacity. The camera zoomed in on Camilla's face. Her eyes filled with tears. She looked lost, broken, and humiliated. And then, right there in front of everyone, Camilla collapsed. Her body went limp as she fainted. Gasps filled the courtroom. Reporters shouted. Medical staff rushed in, trying to revive her. Outside, the scene was wild. Protesters cheered. They screamed, "Justice! Finally justice!" But not everyone was happy. Loyal royal supporters stood in tears, clutching pictures of Camilla and the king. It was a moment no one would ever forget. International media jumped on the story. Headlines all over the world screamed, "Queen collapses in court after sentence." The royal family's darkest day was now playing live on every TV screen across the globe. Royal family's response. As news of Camilla's collapse spread, all eyes turned to Buckingham Palace. Everyone wanted to know, how was King Charles reacting? Hours later, a royal spokesperson read out a statement from the king. His words were full of sadness. "My wife is a victim of circumstance. She has been treated unfairly. We will stand by her." But behind the scenes, rumors told a different story. Insiders claimed King Charles was furious. Not just angry, but embarrassed that the woman he loved had dragged the monarchy through the mud. Things got worse when Prince William and Prince Harry reacted. William stayed silent, avoiding reporters, but sources close to him said he was heartbroken and disappointed. Harry, on the other hand, couldn't resist. Meghan posted a cryptic message on Instagram that read, "Karma always knows where to find you." Fans went wild. Was it aimed at Camilla? Many believed it was. Inside the palace, chaos broke out. Senior royal advisors held emergency meetings. Damage control plans were made. The royal family knew they were standing on thin ice. One wrong move, and the monarchy itself could fall. In another statement, the palace promised full cooperation with the law. But the truth was, they were scared. Scared of what this meant for the future. Impact on the monarchy. The impact of the scandal was bigger than anyone could have imagined. Overnight, public support for the royal family dropped. Polls showed shocking results. More than half the country now wanted the monarchy abolished. People were tired. Tired of scandals, tired of secrets, tired of paying for royal luxuries while they struggled to live. Talks began in Parliament about cutting royal funding. Why should taxpayers' money go to a family that misused it? The anger was real, and it was growing every day. The scandal didn't just stop in the UK. Commonwealth countries like Australia and Canada started asking tough questions. Was it time to break ties with the British monarchy? Could they really stand by a royal family involved in such corruption? For Camilla, the future looked bleak. People wondered, would she ever be seen in public again? Could she survive this? Rumors spread that she might lose her queen title forever. Some even said the king was considering exile, sending Camilla away to a private estate, far from the public eye. The fairy tale was over. What was left was a royal family in ruins. The aftermath, and what's next. In the days that followed, updates about Camilla's health started to come out. She was recovering at a private estate, far from the cameras. Some sources claimed she was heartbroken. Others said she barely spoke. The once powerful queen consort was now a prisoner in her own palace. Whispers of divorce started floating around. People wondered if King Charles could really stay married to someone who brought so much shame to the crown. But the palace stayed silent, at least for now. Camilla's legal team hinted at a possible appeal. They were still fighting, still hoping to clear her name. But deep down, everyone knew. It was over. The bigger picture, however, was scarier. What did this mean for royal accountability? Would future royals also be dragged to court if they messed up? Was this the beginning of the end for the British monarchy? People around the world were watching, waiting, wondering what would happen next. The courtroom may have gone silent, but the questions still remain. What happens next? Will Queen Camilla recover from this shocking moment? And most importantly, what does this sentence mean for the future? One thing is certain, this story is far from over. Make sure to stay updated because there's more to uncover.
England's rivers are filled with a chemical cocktail of sewage, agricultural waste and plastic.
In a shocking turn of events, Prince William's son, Prince George, has just broken silence, and the world is shocked. For years, the young royals have stayed under the radar, but the unexpected words from the young prince have left the public in complete awe. What could he possibly have to say that's so bold? The royal family is now in the spotlight like never before. You won't believe what Prince William's kid just revealed. Prince George's growing role as a royal Prince George, the eldest child of Prince William and Princess Catherine, has long been in the spotlight, but recently he has been doing something that's left everyone talking, and it's not just his adorable smile. As he matures, Prince George is stepping into a bigger role within the royal family, and let's just say, the world wasn't prepared for what happened next. Known for being in line to the British throne, George's presence at royal events has become more frequent, but it's his actions that have been turning heads. Recently, during a royal event, Prince George did something that shocked everyone and made headlines around the world. In a rare moment of confidence, George spoke out on a major cause: environmental protection. Yes, you heard that right. At just 10 years old, George shared his thoughts on sustainability and the importance of protecting the planet. His eloquence and passion for the subject were unexpected, especially for a child of his age. This wasn't just a fleeting comment. Prince George is growing into a young royal who isn't afraid to express himself and take on responsibilities that his predecessors might not have at such a young age. The moment he spoke about such a critical issue sent shockwaves across the media, proving that George isn't just the future king. He's already starting to carve his own path. The royal family, known for its careful balance of tradition and modernity, is clearly embracing George's individuality. His parents, Prince William and Kate, have always made it a point to raise their children with a strong sense of independence, and it shows. They want George to be more than just a figurehead of the monarchy. They want him to be someone who understands the world and the challenges it faces. As he grows older, Prince George's role will continue to expand, and with moments like this, he's already proving that he's ready for it. His ability to tackle serious issues at such a young age is just one example of how the monarchy is evolving with the times. With the world watching, there's no doubt that Prince George will surprise us even more as he prepares to one day lead the British people. If this moment was any indication, Prince George's future as a royal is going to be far more exciting and impactful than anyone could have ever predicted. Prince George's rare public statement. Prince George, the young heir to the British throne, has always lived his life under the constant gaze of the public eye. But recently, he did something that left everyone completely stunned. In a rare public statement, the 10-year-old son of Prince William and Princess Catherine spoke out about a topic that no one expected, and it immediately went viral. It all happened during a royal event, where Prince George, usually seen quietly by his parents' side, stepped forward and shared his thoughts on an issue that's been on everyone's minds: the environment. Yes, Prince George, at just a decade old, publicly voiced his concerns about the future of our planet. In an age where environmental issues dominate headlines, his statement had an instant impact. George expressed his desire to help protect the planet for future generations, showing that even at such a young age, he is aware of the world's challenges. What shocked everyone wasn't just that he spoke out, but how eloquently he did it. This wasn't the usual childlike comment you'd expect from a royal youngling. Prince George sounded mature and thoughtful, showing an understanding of the urgency around climate change that many adults might struggle to communicate. It wasn't just a casual remark. This was a powerful, rare statement from a future king that demonstrated his growing awareness of global issues. This bold move is a reflection of the new generation of royals. Prince William and Kate have always raised their children with a focus on responsibility, empathy, and social awareness, and George's statement is a clear sign that the royal family is ready for change. Prince George isn't just a figurehead. He's growing into someone who could use his platform to make a difference. The world was left in awe after hearing George's comments, and rightfully so. His rare public statement shows a royal future that's not just about pageantry and tradition. It's about using their position to create real change. The question now is, what will Prince George do next? With this unexpected moment, Prince George has proven he's more than ready for his role as a future leader. And if this is just a glimpse of his future, then we can't wait to see what comes next. Unexpected impact of his words. When Prince George, the young son of Prince William and Kate Middleton, made a rare public statement recently, he did something that shocked the world. He spoke about an issue that most people wouldn't expect from someone of his age, let alone a future king. His words left a lasting impact, sparking discussions across the globe. So, what exactly did he say? And why did it cause such a stir? It all started at a royal event, where Prince George, known for his reserved nature and typically staying in the background, surprised everyone by speaking out on a serious topic: the environment. With the world grappling with climate change, pollution, and the future of our planet, George's comments on how important it is to protect the Earth resonated deeply. The surprising part? He didn't just repeat a scripted message. His words were thoughtful, heartfelt, and showed an understanding far beyond his years. The impact was immediate. News outlets picked up the story, social media exploded, and people from all corners of the world were buzzing. Many were taken aback by how mature and aware Prince George seemed. For a royal child, especially one so young, this kind of public stance is rare. It wasn't just a moment of royal tradition, it was a young heir stepping forward and making his voice heard in a meaningful way. But why was this such a big deal? The royal family has always been seen as figures of stability and tradition. Rarely do they break away from formality to express personal thoughts, especially the younger generation. When George spoke out, it signified a new era in which the royals might become more relatable and involved in the pressing issues of our time. In a world where many leaders are slow to act on climate change, George's words felt fresh, urgent, and hopeful. Moreover, his statement shined a light on how Prince William and Kate have been raising their children to be socially conscious. This wasn't just a random comment. It showed that Prince George is being taught to think critically about the world and his future role within it. This rare glimpse into his character has left many wondering if he will continue to use his platform for causes like climate change, social justice, and human rights. So, what can we expect from Prince George moving forward? His words have set the stage for a royal future that may be less about ceremonial duties and more about real-world impact. The unexpected consequences of his speech have made the world realize Prince George isn't just a child waiting to inherit the throne. He's already beginning to shape the legacy he'll one day lead. Prince George's role in modern royal family. Prince George, the eldest child of Prince William and Kate Middleton, is stepping into a bigger role than ever before in the royal spotlight. As the future King of England, his journey is already capturing the world's attention, and he's proving that he's more than just a cute face in the royal family. His growing presence is changing the way people view the monarchy and its future. From his first public appearances as a toddler to his recent participation in royal events, Prince George has been slowly carving out his place in the royal family's ever-evolving narrative. But it's clear that he's not just following in his father's or grandfather's footsteps. Prince George is paving the way for a modern monarchy that's connected with today's world. His role is becoming more prominent as he grows older, and with it, expectations are rising. Prince George has already displayed a level of maturity beyond his years. Whether attending official events, participating in royal tours, or even engaging with the public, his presence has never been just about being seen. Every appearance seems to signal that George is getting ready for a future where he will be an active player in shaping the royal family's legacy. One of the most notable aspects of Prince George's role is how he's being groomed to take on modern-day responsibilities. Unlike the royals of the past, who focused mostly on ceremonial duties, the younger generation is expected to be more hands-on with social issues. Prince George is growing up in a world where climate change, social justice, and global peace are front and center, and it's clear that his parents want him to be aware and involved. It's no surprise that he's already shown interest in charity work and environmental causes, two areas that are close to his parents' hearts. As the future king, Prince George's role will continue to evolve, and his ability to connect with the public will be key. The monarchy is no longer just about tradition. It's about relevance in the modern world. And Prince George, with his growing confidence, is showing that he's ready to be a part of that change. His impact, though subtle now, is only set to grow as he matures into his role. Prince George's journey into the royal spotlight proves one thing: the future of the monarchy is in good hands. With his natural charisma, intelligence, and deep connection to the modern world, Prince George is set to play a key role in the royal family for years to come. Parental influence on George's development. Prince George, the future King of England, may only be a child, but the impact of his parents, Prince William and Kate Middleton, on his development is already clear. As the eldest son in the royal family, his upbringing is not only being watched by the world, but is also crucial in shaping the kind of leader he will become. From a young age, Prince George has been molded by his parents' values, which are centered on kindness, responsibility, and a sense of duty. Unlike some other royal children, Prince William and Kate have made a conscious effort to raise George with a sense of normalcy. They ensure that he has a strong bond with his siblings, Princess Charlotte and Prince Louis, and tries to give them a childhood that is as private and carefree as possible in the public eye. Prince William, who has always been vocal about wanting his children to experience a normal childhood, has placed great emphasis on family life. Prince George has already been seen enjoying simple activities like playing with his siblings and spending time with his parents in the countryside. This focus on family values is something that will help him grow into a grounded and compassionate future monarch. Kate, on the other hand, has been equally influential in George's development. Known for her commitment to raising her children with a strong moral compass, she is actively involved in teaching her children about kindness, empathy, and the importance of giving back. Kate's interest in early childhood development has also played a key role in shaping George's education. She is a firm believer in the power of play, and it's clear that George's childhood is full of both learning and fun. One of the most notable aspects of Prince George's upbringing is the balance between royal duties and personal life. While he attends public events with his parents and is already a key part of royal engagements, his parents ensure that his childhood isn't overshadowed by royal obligations. Instead, they prioritize his well-being and personal growth, focusing on developing his emotional intelligence, social skills, and sense of responsibility. As Prince George grows, it's clear that the influence of Prince William and Kate Middleton will continue to guide him. Their parenting style, which balances tradition with a modern approach, will shape him into a monarch who is not only beloved by the people, but also capable of leading with empathy and understanding. It's no surprise that the future King of England is being raised with such a strong foundation. It's clear that George's parents are already preparing him for greatness. Global reaction to George's statement. When Prince George, the future King of England, made his rare public statement, the world was stunned. This wasn't just another royal appearance or a charming moment caught on camera. It was a statement that sent shockwaves through global media. People from all corners of the globe stopped to listen, as the young royal's words carried unexpected weight, sparking conversations and debates worldwide. The moment came during a casual royal event, where Prince George was asked a simple question. But what he said left many in awe. His words, though coming from a young boy, were remarkably mature and insightful, reflecting the core values he has likely been instilled with by his parents, Prince William and Kate Middleton. His statement quickly went viral, circulating across news outlets, social media platforms, and even forums, as people tried to decode the meaning behind his words. The reaction was nothing short of extraordinary. Royal fans, experts, and commentators all scrambled to interpret what this rare public statement meant for the future of the monarchy. Some viewed it as a sign that Prince George was already stepping into his royal role with confidence, showing maturity beyond his years. Others marveled at how grounded and thoughtful the young prince seemed, considering the immense pressure that comes with being part of the royal family. International media outlets were quick to cover the statement, with many praising the balance between George's youthful innocence and the wisdom of his words. British tabloids highlighted how the young royal's demeanor was remarkably composed, especially for someone so young, while global networks like CNN and BBC dove into a deeper analysis of the impact his statement could have on the monarchy's future. On social media, the reaction was overwhelmingly positive. Fans of the royal family flooded platforms like Twitter and Instagram with their thoughts, with many calling George's words inspiring and wise beyond his years. Hashtags like #FutureKing and #PrinceGeorgeInspires started trending, as people shared their admiration for the young prince's composure and thoughtfulness. But not everyone was completely taken aback by George's statement. Some critics questioned whether his public remark was too polished for his age, speculating that it might have been carefully scripted by his parents or royal advisors. However, many agreed that regardless of the origin, the statement reflected a new era in the royal family, one that values transparency, relatability, and modernity. Potential shift in the royal family's public engagement. The royal family has long been known for its dignified silence and carefully crafted public image. But a recent shift in public engagement may signal a dramatic change in how they interact with the world. Prince George, the young heir to the throne, has been at the center of this transformation, and his latest actions have sparked conversations about what's next for the British monarchy. For years, the royal family has followed a relatively traditional model, appearing at high-profile events, making brief public statements, and largely staying out of the spotlight when it comes to personal opinions. However, with the younger generation stepping up, particularly Prince William and Kate Middleton's children, it seems like a fresh approach is on the horizon. One key moment that fueled speculation about a shift came when Prince George made his rare public statement that left everyone stunned. His words were not only mature for his age, but also surprisingly candid, offering a glimpse into a royal family that is more open and relatable than ever before. This moment seemed to suggest that the royals are ready to step into a new era of engagement, one where they communicate more directly with the public and show a more human side. The potential shift in the royal family's public engagement could have far-reaching implications. Historically, the monarchy has maintained a barrier between themselves and the public, with every word and gesture carefully controlled by advisors. But as we've seen with Prince George and his siblings, the next generation is more comfortable with modern communication tools and isn't afraid to speak their minds, whether it's on social media or in public speeches. What does this mean for the future of the monarchy? Experts believe that this could signal a more interactive approach to royal duties, where the royals take a more active role in shaping public discourse and connecting with the people they serve. Social media, in particular, could play a significant role in this transformation, offering the royal family a platform to share their personal thoughts and experiences in a way that wasn't possible before. Future of Prince George as a monarch. The future of the British monarchy is in the hands of the next generation, and all eyes are on one young royal, Prince George. As the eldest son of Prince William and Catherine, Duchess of Cambridge, Prince George is next in line to the throne, and his future role as monarch could bring about dramatic changes for the royal family. But what can we expect from him as a future king? From the moment Prince George was born, the world has eagerly watched his every move. Now, as he grows older, he's showing signs that he could be a different kind of monarch, one who's more relatable and connected to the modern world. His recent actions, including his rare public statements and his increasingly confident presence in royal duties, have led many to wonder, could Prince George redefine what it means to be a king? In the past, British monarchs have been seen as distant figures, always maintaining a formal and somewhat aloof image. However, with Prince George, there's a shift happening. He's growing up in a digital age where social media reigns, and the lines between public figures and their audiences are becoming more blurred. Could this mean that Prince George will be the first monarch to truly embrace the digital age and engage directly with the public through platforms like Instagram, Twitter, or even TikTok? Beyond his use of technology, Prince George's role in the royal family is already evolving. As he takes on more responsibilities, such as attending public events, representing the family, and gradually assuming more official duties, we can expect him to become a much more hands-on monarch than his predecessors. His upbringing, shaped by Prince William and Kate Middleton's modern and progressive values, is likely to inspire him to lead with a focus on transparency, empathy, and relatability. The future of the monarchy under Prince George could also see a shift in how the royal family engages with global issues. As the world faces challenges like climate change, inequality, and political instability, the royal family may take on a more vocal role in addressing these topics, particularly with a younger monarch at the helm. Prince William and Princess Catherine's parenting. When it comes to parenting, Prince William and Princess Catherine, the Duke and Duchess of Cambridge, have taken a refreshingly modern approach that's earned them widespread admiration. As the parents of 3 young children, Prince George, Princess Charlotte, and Prince Louis, they've carved out a style that balances tradition with the realities of raising kids in today's world. But what exactly makes their parenting so special, and how are they shaping the future of the royal family? First and foremost, Prince William and Catherine have made it clear that family comes first. Despite their royal duties, they prioritize their children's well-being and personal development. From attending school events to taking family vacations, the couple goes to great lengths to ensure their children experience a childhood that's as normal as possible given their royal status. This focus on family has made them relatable to the public, earning them respect and admiration from commoners and royals alike. But it's not just about being present, it's about being engaged. Catherine, in particular, has often spoken about the importance of providing her children with a strong emotional foundation. She encourages them to express their feelings and be kind to others, a practice that's both gentle and progressive. Prince William shares similar sentiments, making it clear that their goal is to raise confident, compassionate children who understand the importance of empathy and kindness. One of the most striking aspects of their parenting is their commitment to teaching their children resilience. Both Prince William and Catherine have been open about the struggles they've faced in their own lives, particularly with the pressures of public life. By sharing their own experiences, they hope to show their children how to cope with challenges, face adversity, and bounce back stronger. Another key part of their approach is encouraging independence. Rather than sheltering their children from the outside world, the Duke and Duchess are fostering a sense of independence by allowing their children to engage in everyday activities like school projects, sports, and even charity work. These experiences help Prince George, Princess Charlotte, and Prince Louis develop a well-rounded perspective on life and their royal responsibilities. George's potential influence on the future monarchy. Prince George, the eldest son of Prince William and Princess Catherine, is more than just a future king. He's a symbol of a new generation that could reshape the British monarchy. At just 10 years old, George's potential influence on the future of the royal family is already sparking curiosity and excitement. As the world eagerly watches his every move, it's clear that George could be a pivotal figure in transforming the monarchy for years to come. One of the most exciting aspects of Prince George's future is the way he's being raised. Unlike previous generations of royals, who grew up in a more traditional and reserved environment, George is experiencing a more modern upbringing. His parents, Prince William and Princess Catherine, have emphasized the importance of giving George and his siblings a grounded and relatable childhood. This down-to-earth parenting style could make George a more approachable figure when he eventually takes the throne, something the monarchy has been working towards for years. But George's potential to influence the monarchy goes beyond his upbringing. His presence in the public eye is already breaking royal norms. From attending public events with his parents to occasionally showing glimpses of his personality in the media, George is becoming more relatable to the people of the UK and beyond. In a time when people are increasingly looking for authenticity from their leaders, George could be the royal who leads the way in connecting with the modern world. In addition, George's growing role in the royal family could bring new focus to key issues like mental health, education, and sustainability, topics that are important to younger generations. His parents have already shown a deep commitment to these causes, and it's likely George will continue this legacy. As he matures, he could use his platform to advocate for change and lead initiatives that resonate with people all over the world, ensuring the monarchy stays relevant and progressive. Moreover, with George's eventual role as the future king, there's a real possibility that he will usher in a more streamlined and modern monarchy, one that places greater importance on personal connection and social impact. His youth, intelligence, and grounded nature could make him a royal figure who doesn't just inherit the crown, but also redefines it. In the end, Prince George isn't just the future king, he's the future of the monarchy itself. With his potential to connect with the people, embrace modern values, and create positive change, George could be the monarch who leads the British royal family into a new, more inclusive era.